Hi there, I'm Michelle, the author of the Facebook page and the book Surviving Trauma, Crisis and Grief. I just wanted to share one of my favourite spaces with you today, and that is the greenhouse. I love being outdoors, I love being with plants. Being in the greenhouse, if it's a cooler day or it's raining, I get to be warmer and dry. And it was raining a little bit today. So it's so nice to be in here among the plants. I've suffered childhood and adult trauma, and a later trauma in my life led to complex post-traumatic stress disorder. If you've suffered trauma, or you believe that right now you may be suffering symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder, do try to get yourself to a counsellor who understands trauma. It's really important to do that. But there are so many days in between appointments when you need to have things to do that are really therapeutic and beneficial to you, to your senses, to your mind, to your brain, to your body, beneficial in every way. And so I like to share my journey with you and what I have found helpful in my situation of dealing with complex post-traumatic stress disorder. And I would just like to read from this book about the benefits of plants. Gardening is an extremely helpful form of therapy. Therapeutic horticulture and horticultural therapy are names being given to the use of the healing power of gardening and plant-based activities to help people suffering from mental illness, post-traumatic stress disorder, and various disabilities. Getting outside in the fresh air and nurturing a garden is incredibly good for you. The relationship between nature and man is simple but powerfully healing. When you grow plants and tend them, water them, pull weeds, watch them bud and flower, and maybe eat your own homegrown fruits and vegetables, you get a sense of well-being from treating something well. Now that's a quote from Professor Joe Sempic, who worked with Thrive, which is the Society for Horticultural Therapy. And I love that. When you nurture plants, you get a sense of well-being from treating something well. And another quote says, "Doctors have not yet accepted that something so simple can be more effective than drugs. But we know it works. In contact with nature, our brains are triggered into a reduced stress mode. The green gym is particularly beneficial for people with mental ill health, depression, anxiety, and dementia." So that's from a quote by Dr. William Bird, a UK GP. And I like that bit. In contact with nature, our brains are triggered into a reduced stress mode. And when you've suffered trauma or depression or any other form of mental health issue, you experience a great deal of stress. And it's often every day. For example, with post-traumatic stress disorder, it's every day, and it's often every hour of every day. So it's so important to find constructive, therapeutic activities that really help reduce stress and get your mind on other things. And plants are a wonderful way to do that. This beautiful plant here, for example, I mean, look at the colour. Just the colour green is so relaxing. So being surrounded by the colour of green is good for you. And the feel of plants is soft, and there's a fragility to some of them. Everyone feels different. And this one has a beautiful, beautiful aroma, a beautiful fragrance. It's a chamomile plant. And I can't wait for the flowers to arrive on this. It's going to be so pretty. So plants are good for your senses in every way. The feel of the soil on your hands is good for you, that lovely earthy feeling. So if you don't have a garden, or a greenhouse space like this. Don't worry, because there's still so much that you can do. So let's have a look at a couple of things today. For example, you don't actually need very much to have a plant or plants to nurture. All you need is a pot or several pots, some compost. I've got some compost in my pot here already. And your seeds. And these are sunflower seeds. Sunflowers are such a happy plant to grow, and the process is so simple. You can start them off in pots like this. Use a dibber, whatever you want to call it. It's called a dibber, but you could use a pencil, an old pen, the handle of something, tools that are used for clay making, anything that you like that just makes a nice little hole in your compost there, like that. So a little hole in there. And I'm going to get my sunflower seed. Should it tight? I don't know if you can see that. It's just one little seed there. I'm going to pop that into the pot, into the hole, and cover that up. I already watered this compost to make sure that it's nice and moist even before I put the seed in. So we put that in. I'm going to water that. Let that settle a bit. And give it a bit more. Lovely. One sunflower planted. When that gets bigger, here I have one. It's already got considerably bigger. This one really needs to go outside now. It's still just a little bit cold sometimes at night, so I haven't planted it outside yet. But you can see he's getting tall, so I've given him a little stick there just to keep him upright in case he gets knocked over, something like that. But these are going to grow very tall. I can't even remember the height of these. Let me just have a look on the packet. What does it say here? I'm not sure, but they get very tall. Lovely, happy plant, and the birds love them. And making sure that your plant is watered, caring for them, making sure they're upright. These are all forms of nurturing. It's like having plant babies, and you get the joy of looking after something well, and that makes you feel good too. So that's your simple sunflower. So as I say, when I'm ready, I'll plant him outside in the soil to grow, because he's going to need to spread his roots a long way to be able to stand really tall. So what else is there that you could grow that is easy? You may not be a gardener. You may think, I just don't have green fingers. Well, neither did I. I didn't think I did. But I just started with really simple stuff and found that I enjoyed it, and I learned a lot, and that helped. But it's good to start off with something simple. How about something that you can eat? Well, another thing I found really easy to grow, and you can grow it in containers. So if you don't have a raised bed, if you don't have a garden where you can plant things directly into the soil, get some compost, fill a pot, and you can put it anywhere. In fact, if you don't really have a garden, even just a balcony will do, as long as you can get a little bit of sun on it. For example, in this tub here, how well you can see that, I have planted arugula, or it could be said arugula, but the easiest way to say it is rocket. And rocket is a lovely peppery flavoured salad vegetable, and so easy to grow. And you can put this pot anywhere where it can get some sun. And what you do is you make 2 drills, or like furrows. You can use a little dibber or anything else that works. In your pot, in your compost, once you've filled it with compost, make 2 shallow trenches, if you like, in your compost. You sprinkle your seeds in. This is a very old looking packet. This has been well handled. This is my packet of rocket seeds. get some in your hand, you sprinkle them in, cover them up, and make sure that you water them regularly. And that's where you get to nurture something again and look after your plant babies. And as you look after your plant babies, they will look after you and do you good, make you feel good. When you've planted your rocket, it grows pretty fast. And these are ones that I planted maybe a couple of weeks ago or so. And you can see I've got a lovely thick mass of rocket salad here. And this is a real cut and come again vegetable. You can come out every day, lunchtime, dinner time, whatever it is. It grows so fast. Every day you'll find you have new leaves. And you can just snip some off or pick some off, enough that you need to have for that meal. And you'll find it's grown again somewhere else on the plant the next day. So, wow, what value for money that is. And what a feel-good factor to know that I planted this and I get to eat this every day. And that's economical too. So as you can see, there's a lot that you can actually grow without needing to have your own garden. And rocket is a hardy salad vegetable as well. It grows quickly. There's not really that much you can get wrong with it, as long as it has the water that it needs. So one more today that we'll look at, and that is the lovely little strawberry plant. Just a simple plant that bears pretty white flowers that then become strawberries. And I've got several of these. I was given several strawberry plants, but I tell you, these things multiply like crazy. So once your pot is well used by the plant, you get the roots starting to come through the bottom. Then you either need to move it into the garden soil or repot it into a bigger pot. You want that plant to grow big so you get plenty of strawberries. Now this one's been repotted and you can see some of the pretty flowers on there. So that's not been in here very long, so this has got a bit of growing to do. But I do see a little root coming through there already. Strawberries are hardy plants. They multiply quickly. And when it gets big, you can actually take this out of the pot and you can divide it and plant the one you've taken off somewhere else. They just keep multiplying. Fantastically easy and hardy plant for you to grow if you haven't done very much growing. So I really encourage you to grow strawberry plants. If you can't get hold of any strawberry plants at the moment, then you could send off for some seeds and grow sunflowers or grow a rocket or some other vegetable. That is simple. My strawberry plants have now gone crazy in the garden. I've got lots of them, so I'm hoping I'll have a lot of strawberries this year. So as you can see, growing strawberries in pots is easy too, and you can get a bigger and bigger pot and grow these without having to have an actual garden. You can have a balcony area, a patio, or anything like that if you don't have a lot of earth in your garden or in your yard. Well, that's it with the plants for today. I just hope that you really enjoyed sharing this space with me in the greenhouse. We'll do some more another day. And remember, if you are suffering with trauma, any of the symptoms of trauma, with mental health issues, you've been through a really difficult experience. I don't know what it is that you have experienced, but I know what it's like to experience the effects of trauma. So I really encourage you to start small. Do something every day, even if it seems really small and insignificant. Just doing one little thing a day, such as planting your sunflower. Even if it's just that and watching that grow is such a simple thing, but it makes a difference to you. It's a form of therapy, a form of self-care. So I really encourage you to do that. As you do the little things, they turn into a journey of healing. Thank you for being with me today, and I look forward to seeing you again. Oh, and one more thing. If you want to find out more about my journey and ideas about how to survive trauma, crisis and grief, you can get my book, Surviving Trauma, Crisis and Grief, on Amazon. Look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye.